Breaking news, my lovely, wonderful people. Pastor Paul Adefarasin, in the eye of the storm, a lot is going on and you cannot begin to imagine. 2023 presidency, I stand by what God told me, despite bashing for Pastor Paul Adefarasin. In case you're not aware, yesterday the clergyman gave a parable in trying to depict what will happen in the election slated for a few hours to go. And I said a few hours, Saturday is just around the corner, barely 72 hours, if I'm correct. Yeah, and so Pastor Paul Adefarasin gave very, a parable from the Bible. And what happened is that you are left to infer and to deduce and to speak on what you take from that. The resultant, what came out, it's not what you can imagine. It was beyond you can imagine. And today you can see what is going on. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details. 2023 presidency, I stand by what God told me despite bashing for Pastor Paul Adefarasin. Pastor Paul Adefarasin, the senior pastor, House on the Rock, on Tuesday said he stands by what God told him on the parable of Saul and David in Nigerian political election. Adefarasin has, during a sermon at the weekend, while speaking on the forthcoming presidential election in his church, gave a parable of Saul and David in the Bible and how Saul came first before David. Many supporters of Peter Obi took Adefarasin's parable to mean that he was supporting the APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu to win the election, but he never mentioned any political party or any presidential candidate. They tore him apart and called him unprintable names. But the popular clergy, who did not come out openly to endorse any presidential candidate, in a series of tweets on Tuesday said he stands by what God had told him. Friends, you have kept me busy with your tweets, posts, and comments, though many are harsh. I appreciate your feedback, and I still want to take a minute to share my stand with you again in the hope that you may gain a clearer understanding. As with all of you, I identify as a Nigerian and a patriot. So undoubtedly, I share in your pain living in Nigeria. I share your desire for a working country. And that is why we all consider this election critical in our collective request for a new Nigeria, he said. According to Pastor Paul Adefarasin, I really believe that it will happen. And I wish that you could see what I saw. The hope that the parable of Saul and David brings the after victory. I understand there are various interpretation of the parable of the Saul and David. That is fine. You can pick your own meaning. That's absolutely fine. However, remember that the giver of the parable is the one that gave me the meaning to it. God gave me the parable that even as I release it, I have continued to search for its applicable meaning to the present Nigerian situation. I feel blessed to have your ears. However, I ask that you listen deeply for understanding so that you do not miss the message. Saul, instead of trusting in God, tried to manipulate things and even discontinued with his mentor, Samuel. David, on the other hand, stumbled but never shattered. He was delayed but never too late. So don't worry. So whether Saul represents your past or your present, only God knows. Whether David represents the future or how or now, I can't tell. In any case, the wise will wait for the election period to play it out before concluding on judging what the message of this parable means. So my wonderful people, not be small matter. Pastor Paul said, "Call get to come out, call explain to people, say where say." I don't know what to think from this parable. Now whether this or not that, whatever your stand on this parable is, just know that I am not against you, I am for you. Okay, whatever your stand is, I am not against you, I am what? I am for you. So be wise. Don't allow anyone, okay, don't allow anything to distract you and to begin to make you, whatever you take from, whether it's your past or it's your present, we all want a new Nigeria, don't we? So let's take things easy, one step at a time. Let's ensure that we do things thoroughly, properly. And at the end of the day, let's get a new Nigeria. This parable I've said, according to him, he said he heard from God. And whatever it stands for, whatever you pick out of it, whatever you make out of it, is up to you. But let us wait patiently for the results of the election to be able to conclude if he was speaking of A or B. You see, so this is where the matter is. Some people are very unhappy with Pastor Paul Adefarasin. Some are thinking, he is supporting a particular candidate that they may not support. Everybody in this election has their candidates, and it is only fair that we wait patiently. And if he does not want to give the results of this parable, we wait patiently for the results and we let it out. Okay, at the end of the day, every single one of us will be able to understand what Pastor Paul Adefarasin has said. For whatever is what, remember that it's up to you and I, okay, to ensure that at the end of the day, truth is being dispensed at the end of the day. So remember that it is going to be, an election where you and I will have to vote, and every single one of us will have to decide what happens going forward. So it is a matter of urgent attention. So nobody should, take one side of it and destroy the other. Let's be very careful what we do. At the end of the day, we'll have to decide what happened together. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can have all our latest news. Remember, you have a voice. God bless. Have a fantastic and a lovely day. From us is bye for now.